Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to day 18 ReactJs. Today we are going to learn about render and commit and state as a snapshot. So let's start with render and commit. What is this? And last day I have started this, but because of some technical issue, there was no lecture. Hope you will join the Discord server for good updates about ReactJs. Before your components are displayed on screen, they must be rendered by React. Okay, before the things or the components displayed on the screen, they must be rendered by the React. React is the only source that creating the virtual DOM and converting it into the real DOM in the V8 engine. So understanding these steps, this process will help you think about how your code executes and explain the behavior. So it's very important process like how things is going under the hood. What you are going to learn in this lecture, you are going to learn about what rendering means in React. What is the real meaning of rendering? Rendering is not just about the rendering the things, but the meaning is different for that. When and why React render the component? What is the reason behind that? How React is rendering the things multiple times. We are going to understand that under the hood. The steps involved in displaying a component on the screen. What are the process, what are the steps that really in process to displaying the component on the screen? Like without loading the whole page or website, it's rendered your information on the screen without loading, like how that's working. Why rendering does not always produce DOM update? Like, yes, why it's not loading all the things? It's called DOM update. Whenever the DOM is updating, the loading of the page is begin. To prevent that, how React is making things possible for that, we're going to learn in this lecture. So imagine that your components are the cook in the kitchen, sampling tasty dishes from ingredients. In this scenario, React is a waiter that puts the request from customer to bring order back to the order. This process of requesting and serving UI in 3 steps. Let's see the steps from here. Like this React is my waiter and this is my guest. And this guest order for card. The React goes to the kitchen and send their card order to the kitchen. And the order of the card will came here in their plate and React is responsible to transfer that order to the real customer. So this is done by the React in very 3 steps, like trigger the order, render the order, and commit the order. Alright, committing, rendering, and triggering. These 3 steps. First, we are going to understand whether triggering a rendering the component, and committing to the DOM. Like 3 things is going to be happen here. Like here, triggering is the user, what the user really want. Rendering is the work by the component kitchen, like what are going to render and what is going to set to the DOM. Like these 3 steps: trigger, render, and committing. Let's focus on the first step, which is trigger or render. These are 2 reasons for component to render. First is it's a component's initial render. Like whenever you open your screen, whenever you open your application without clicking any button, it's showing you the initial page. That's a initial render. That's done by the root component of your JavaScript, okay, or called root component of your HTML. Okay, we are going to learn about that in an upcoming time. Okay, first we are going to understand what's that. The components, one of the ancestors state has been updated. Okay, so initial render, what happened inside this? When your app starts, you need to trigger the initial render. What's that? Frameworks and the sandbox sometimes hide this code, but it's done by calling create root. Actually, create root is one of the component that you are going to call from the React DOM client. What's that? that's going to creating the initial rendering like this. Like root is my, like it's creating the root or document dot get element by id of the root. Okay, and then we are going to render the image inside that root. Okay, and image.js is my component or called main component of my application, because I'm rendering directly inside my root component. Okay, after the first render, try committing out root or render and call and see the component disappear. Yes. Okay, re-render when state updates. Like whenever the states update, whenever the user's interactivity increases, the application gets re-rendered. Like how that's working, let's see. Once the application has been initially rendered, you can trigger further render by updating the state with the set function. Updating your component state automatically queues a render. You can imagine this as a restaurant guest ordering tea, dessert, and all sort of things after putting the first order. Okay, depending on the state of the things and the thirst and the hunger, what are the need of user, on the basis of that the state is going to be updating. Like my customer says, I don't want card, I want more card. Then my waiter goes to component kitchen and order more cards, and card component kitchen gave back more perfect card with different shape and size. I don't like this user don't want black card, they need pink card or called purple card, and the component card goes back to and give back the black card and come up with purple card. So things is working like here. Okay, hope you understand. Like state update, like I don't want black card, I want purple card. Then the trigger, now React we are going to triggering and trigger the things and call back to the component kitchen, and component kitchen gives just like whatever the props they come up with. Like they come up with the purple card, they are going to sending back to the rendering with the purple card. Okay, hope you understand how this is going to help. And the second step, React render your component. Like how things is going to happen here. After you trigger or render, React call your components to figure out what to display on the screen. Rendering is React calling your component. What's the rendering? Rendering is React calling your component. React is going to call your all the components that need to be updated after the state change. On initial render, React will call the root component. Okay, all the data is coming from root component for the initial rendering. After that, for the subsequent rendering, React will call the functional component. What we're going to call? They are going to call the functional component whose states update trigger the render. Okay, only calling the functional component that is updating on the basis of states. Okay, this process is recursive. Hope you understand what is the meaning of recursive. If the updated component returns some other component, React will render that component next. If the component also returns something, it will render that component next, and so on. The process will continue until there are no more nested components and React knows exactly what should be displayed on the screen. In the following example, React will call gallery. React is going to call gallery like this is my root rendering. Inside my root rendering, they are going to calling the gallery. Inside this gallery, I have three sections of images. Okay, one section having three images, and this three images is coming from image component. Okay, hope you understand what are things is going to help. This is coming from image component. Okay, at the initial rendering, whenever the user render things, that will change on the basis of that. Okay, during the initial rendering, React will create DOM node for section, h1 and 3 image tags. Okay, in the initial rendering, it's going to creating the frame of HTML. During the re-rendering, React will calculate which of the property will fill the changes on the previous render. Okay. In the first rendering, or called initial rendering, React is creating the frame. Like what are the things that we are going to filling in that frame. In the re-rendering, React will fill the images and the alternative tags. Okay, hope you understand. If any have changed since the previous render, it won't do anything with that information until the next steps is commit the phase. Okay, let's see what are the pitfalls, what are the issue like pure calculation is going to be here. Rendering must be always pure calculation. Okay, what does pure calculation means? Like it's not going to update any external variable or any external state. It's always be personal. It's not going to change any other component. Okay, that's a pure calculation with helping function. Hope you remember that I have told you in last lecture. What was that? That was this keep component pure in this lecture. Hope you remember that. Okay, now moving forward, where was my pitfall? Yes, same input same output gives same input. A component should always return the same GSX. Okay, same type of GSX. It's not going to update any other components data. Okay, when someone order the salad with tomatoes, they should not receive salad with onions. Hope you understand what are the things is going to here. Like it's minds its own business. It should not change any object or variable that that ex, excited before rendering. Okay, it always should be waiting for their own chance. It's not render at first. It's not bump their bubbles. Okay, being in their own bubbles, not bubbling. There should not be any kind of bubbling. To prevent that bubbling, we are going to use event dot prevent bubbling. Prevent what? Prevent what was that? It was I'm not remembering that thing. Event dot prevent prevent. That was the word that I'm not remembering right now. So well, move forward. One order should not change anyone else order. Okay, hope you understand what does prior functions do. It's not changing any other's order. Like it's not changing any. It's not calling other component when you're calling to that. Okay, mind your own business. The mentality should like this. Okay, otherwise what happened, you can encounter confusing bugs and unpredictable behavior of your code base grows in complexity. When developing a static mode, React call each component's function twice, which can help suffer mistake cause the impact impure function. Okay, I have really know this what happen when you are calling the super variable from the inside any component and making things disgusting. Okay, this all scenarios we have seen in the pure calculation kind of challenges. Hope you will go there and understand that things in more detail, like optimizing performance. The default behavior of rendering all component nested within the update component is not optional profession performance. Okay, if the update component is very high in the tree, if the updated component is very high in the tree, what does tree means? It's a virtual function, not virtual, no, it's a virtual DOM that's required to be changing. Okay, if you run into a performance issue, there are several op- options in way to solve it. Describe a performance section, don't optimize permanently. Like, what is this option? Optimizing performance, to optimizing the performance, the page use and the product by.react. Okay. What they're trying to say with me? Like, I'm not understanding anything. Like, this is my, what is this? Should component update or virtual DOM event evaluate? Mm, 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 mm. I'm not understanding that. So moving forward, like React commits and change to the DOM. After rendering, calling your component, React will modify the DOM. Okay. For the initial render, React will use append child DOM API to put all DOMs node it has created on the screen. Alright, for re-renders, React will apply the minimal necessary operations calculated while rendering to make the DOM match the later rendering option output. Okay, React only change the DOM nodes if they're different between the render. For example, here is a component that re-render with different props passed from its parent every second. Okay, notice how you can add some text into the input, updating the value, but text disappear does not disappear when the component re-render. Okay, let's see. I have time as props that coming from outside from their parent component. Okay, and I have one header h1 heading. That's like this clock is calling every second, and there is a one input field. It's like point obvious. Like every second, this is rendering all the things. When I'm writing something here, that's going to be disappear. That going to be disappear. Like, hi, hey, it's not disappearing. Why this happening? Like, it should be disappear. Like everything, every time this is calling. Like it says like update the value, but text does not disappear when the component re-render. Why this happened here? This worked because during the last step, React only update the content of H1. Okay, with the new time. Yes, it sees that it sees that the input appears in the JSX in the same place at last time. So React does not touch input. So its value. Do you understand what happened here? Like React is not going to update that things that is changing. Okay, let me tell you. Okay. Like thing is like actually React is not going to update that thing that uh, like when I refresh this, the page that you are seeing here, that's my root initial rendering. whenever the thing is changing, like this clock is changing, like if I select this, at the next moment it's going to change, at the next moment it's going to change, because like that, if I select this, like if I call this and select this, this is not going to change, it's not going to change, like it is invoked, like it's not rendering, it's not render. React is only rendering this thing, React is only rendering the time, not this thing. It means that React is not updating the full page, it's only updating the component that's required to be changed. Like when I click, when I select this, this is not displaying the blue color. When I selecting this, this is displaying the blue color. Like what's the reason for that? Because this is rendering always, this is rendering always. Like if I create one more paragraph tag, like hi, how are you all, like this kind of, and when I select this, like when I'm going to select this, this is not rendering, this is also not rendering. Only thing is, only that thing is rendering that's going to be updating, like this is updating, but this and this is not going to update, so it's not updating all the time. Okay, hope you understand how this thing is working. Like if I say hi, one more paragraph tag, no, let's me take a pre tag, hi, it's time. Okay, hi, it's 11:03. Okay, like this thing. Okay, when I'm going to select this, it's not changing, this is not changing. When I select this is changing. Only React is updating only this thing, it's not updating the full page, it's only updating the states and the props. Okay, hope you understand how thing is going to be happening here. Like just like that, like if I say like the value equals to time, it's also updating like this, like why I'm not going to change the value. Even I'm not going to adding the value to here. Why don't I freeze this? Set time out. Uh, for 5 seconds, and for that time I'm going to update like this. Bro, come inside this hood. What I'm going to do. Like what is happening here? Sad time for hey, don't try to misbehave with this. So hope you understand how thing is going to happen here. Like React is only updating that thing that is changing. Okay, changing from where? Changing from the from props of state. Okay, and it's not changing the things that is under the thing like this. Let me select this one. Okay, if I select this time, Hey, it's not changing right now. So hope you understand how React is going to updating the components. Okay. Now Epilogue browser paint. Browser is painting the things like this. After rendering is done, React update the DOM. Okay. After rendering is done, React update the DOM. First thing is going to render on the screen, then updating on the DOM. Okay, real DOM. The browser will repaint the screen. Repaint the screen. Okay, like this is my browser or called a weird engine. That this is my screen. Like the browsers things like this card of width of 50 pixels and the height of 25 pixels and the font is Allen and all this thing. And browser it's going to creating the replica and creating their own elements or all the things that is like inspect whatever the things like this DOM is creating by the browser after the rendering, just like that. Okay. So this is all about this lecture, not this lecture for this topic. Now works on the recap. Like any screen update in React app happen in the 3 steps by trigger, render and commit. Okay, you can use state mode that find mistakes in your component. Okay, React does not touch the DOM if rendering result is the same as the last time. Okay, this is main point that you need to think about. Like React does not touch the DOM if rendering result is same as the last time. Okay, it's not touching the DOM. I think this thing is not clear right now, but upcoming lecture or upcoming experience we will understand this thing in more better. So because before I don't want to waste more time, so moving forward with state as a snapshot. Oh, state as a snapshot. Okay, what's this? Like state as a snapshot. Okay, state variable might look like regular JavaScript variable. State might look like regular JavaScript variable. No, bro, that's a state variable. Yes, that looks like a regular JavaScript variable, but that is initialized by the method of destructuring. Yes, that is initialized by the method of destructuring. And that you can read and write too. Yes, we can. Okay, however, state behaves more like snapshot. Yeah, is it so? Setting it does not change the state variable you already have, but initiate trigger as render instead triggered as render. Okay, it's only changing when we want to change on the basis of triggering or rendering. It's just like what you know what I'm thinking. I think this is the pointer of our JavaScript. Like really, like it's changing the like we are calling a function and that function is changing the value of state variable like set count like whatever like you can call like if you're creating a state variable with the name of index and the set index and the set index is a function. Okay, that's a callback function that you're not that callback function, that's a function. Okay, or you can call it like callback function, but it's not like that. Okay, so that's a function that whenever you call the set index and putting some value there and that value is setting to index. Okay, an initial point of view that is calling from use state variable use state function. Okay, in last lecture, I think last lecture we have discussed about it how we can create own use state from core JavaScript. Okay, without using any other uh, direct abstraction of like use state kind of thing. So hope you understand how things. Everything that you are using here, not some magic. We can create our own methods and prototypes on the basis of ourselves, but need to making things faster. That's why using this kind of frameworks and libraries. Hope you understand here all. So moving forward, what you are going to learn in this lecture, how setting state trigger re-renders. Okay, when and how states update. Okay, why state does not update immediately after you set it. It is so. Why state does not update immediately as after you set it. How events handles access a snapshot of the state. I think this kind of things helping to browser to creating the replica of the virtual DOM. Okay, the first topic is setting states trigger renders. Setting state trigger render, like this thing, like state. We know about this term. State is object variable. Trigger is like whenever the user work with any interactivity like clicking on event or anything else. And renders is like whenever thing is updating on the screen, or called commit. Okay, when thing is updating on the screen, that is not render. So we understand all these three terms like state, trigger and render. Okay, you might think of your user interface are changing directly in response the user event like click. Yes, it's changing. In React, it works a little different from mental model. On the previous page, you saw setting state request re-render from React. This means that for an interface that react to event, for the interface to react to the event, you need to update the state. Yes, whenever the state is updating, my component is updating. Whenever a component is updating, my screen is updating. Okay. In this example, when you press send, set is send true tells React to re-render the event, or called UI. Like this is my my default main function like form. Okay, and I have used two state variable. Like first is state, is send or not send. First thing is false, and second is my message, set message. Like first message is hi, and whenever I send that message, whenever the message is sent, your message is on its way. Okay. Okay. My what is going to returning to me? It's returning my one form having event prevent default. It's not going to vanish, and it's setting the send message to true and send the message to message, and the message will be hi. Is it so? Is it so? Is it so? But actually, initial message is hi. That's why it's showing me hi. If I'm changing this message like hello, hello developers, and when I'm going to send it, it's a your message in the way, on its way. So what's happening? Like it's going to send message, and message is sending to where? Like there, here. Okay, and inside my value, my message will be my value. Okay, for the initial purpose, for the initial time, the message is going to be like this, like hi. It's will be hi. and whenever this high is going to be like it will be my initial value. On changing, whenever my high is changing, my set message will triggering that. Okay, whenever my message box is changing, it's changing like that. Okay, like whenever I click like anything else, it's changing that value and it's updating the message from here. Set message will be my new message. Event e dot trigger that event. Okay, let's see. Hope you understand what the things is happening here. Okay. Next time, whenever I click on the button, type submit. Whenever I send this button, and there is a no. Okay, okay. Whenever I click on this button, is there any helping function? No. So how they know that I press the button? Okay, it's like on submit. Like there, here is my action. Here is my action. Okay, on submit is written here. Like a button type is submit. Whenever I click on this submit, and that's triggering like on submit the form on the submitting of this form where the two things like button and the text area. Whenever I submitting on the form, it's going to uh, creating the set is sent is true. Whenever it's going to be true, it's going to return this message, and that's it. And this form is going to be disappear, and my function send message. What's the send message? Is message. Why I'm calling this send message? What is the use of this send message here? Yes, this is a use. Send message to okay. This is a way like where you're going to sending the message from your phone, and I'm going to return this thing. Like it's always be calling because it is a function. So hope you understand what how things going to be happening here. So here on submit event hand execute set is sent to true, set is sent true. It's queue a new render. Okay, React re-render the component according to the new send its value. Like it's take a closer look at the relationship between the state and the re-rendering. Okay, how the state and the re-renders work in a closer look. Like hope you understand how. See here like perfectly. All this thing. Let's move on. Rendering takes snapshot in time. Rendering means that React is calling your component, which is a function. Okay. The JSX you return from that function is like a snapshot of the UI in time. Okay. It's just a snapshot. That's why my thing is not changing at there. Whenever I'm updating that thing, that's not changing. Like that's the thing. Like whenever you click, whenever you're writing here, like and for the initial time, like I have this thing. Every time whenever you click here, like when you're clicking like K, it's taking a snapshot and sending back to where? Sending back to component or the DOM. And when you writing n, it's taking a snapshot for K also and updating on the basis of that. It's not updating from the DOM, it's updating from the snapshot of the screen. What you are seeing on the screen, that is my real DOM. It's not like that. What you have internally, it's like what the user is seeing on the screen, that will be my real DOM. That's known as rendering. Like just written here. Like rendering means React is calling your component, which is a function. The JSX you return from that function is like a snapshot of the UI at that time. Its props, event handler, the local variable will all calculated using its state at time of the render, at the time of the rendering. Okay, unlike a photograph or a movie frame, the UI snapshot you return is interactive. It includes logic like event handlers that specify what happens in response to input. React updates React updates the screen to match that snapshot and connects the event handlers as a result. Pressing a button will trigger the click handler from your GSX. Pressing a button whenever you click any triggering button, and that's going to take a snapshot and sending it back to the virtual DOM. And that's thing like React executing the function. Okay, like it's going to be sent here, like GSX is going to updating, calculating the snapshot and updating their tree dome, like whatever they're seeing on the dome. It's just taking the snapshot, like thing is like this. It's not thinking about the black side. So don't you think so? Don't you think so? Okay. Let's play with this for a second, for a second. Okay. Okay, I have frame. Hey, that's working as a iframe, bro. Actually, this is not a real dome. Actually, that's coming from the sandbox. Okay, okay, body, server body. I have root or ID inside this form. I have this thing. What if I'm changing this back? Click. And when I'm updating like this. Hi. I click. It's happening the same. And does the message changing to click or not? I are required to update this. Okay. Hey, do it fast, do it fast. Okay, sir. And when you're writing here, like, okay, that's a button. Hi and submit button. The name of send. When I'm writing something like this is rendering. It's rendering all the what? It's rendering all the text area. Okay. And when you are going to send this, and when if you try to update this like this, okay. Hey, you just updated the whole text area and without writing anything else. And if you write dot, if you write anything here, it's going to taking a snapshot from here and sending back to the real DOM. Let me explain. Like when you write amp, the value of amp is like, okay, like take all this cutting like here, like this. Okay, you write A, it shows A, and like B, it shows B. Okay, from the real DOM, I'm cutting B. It's not cutting from here. When I send tick OK, like you're like here you're seeing A and B in the real DOM. In the real DOM, it's only B. In the virtual DOM, when I'm going to changing anything from here, my virtual DOM will be updating. Then it's update the real DOM. Let me show you. When I'm saying like see, let's see what happened. It's going to render here. If it's taking a snapshot of this screen, then it will be A, B and C. Otherwise it will show A and C only. Like it say A, B and C. Like when I'm like see, like it's taking a snapshot. It's like this taking the snapshot. It's not updating from the virtual DOM from word to word or not matching the every elements. It's taking a snapshot. Like it's is the real example that I have just given you. Hope you understand how thing is working. Okay guys, so moving forward. Okay, rendering takes snapshot in time. Rendering means React is calling your component, which is a function. The JSX you return from the function, it's like a snapshot of your UI, okay? And its props, event, handler, and the local variable will all created using its state at the time of render, okay? Unlike unlike a unlike a photograph or a movie frame, let me give you one more example. Like if I create one more field like h2 h h2 like message, okay, oh god, moving all these things inside this. Hey, why you're not working here? Basically, I want to add one more thing.
Yes,
Thank you. And like I'm just going to update like this, and I'm sending this form inside this. Yeah, now it's working. Like I'm going to add h2 is to here with like message, okay. I'm sending this message like this, and this message is not updating, it's not rendering, okay. I think it's rendering as an initial, not re-rendering as a props, okay. Like when I'm going to inspect this and change this message to anything else, like uh, inside this root I have this message, okay. And for the now I'm going to change the message like this, like this. Oh, that's what happened. Like when I'm changing message like am, it's changed like that. And if I change the ab like this, it's not updating, okay. it's not updating. Only message is updating from here, but it's not updating the inside the real DOM. And when I send like this, see, let's see, does my message will be fulfilled or not? Like it's not pulling the, it's only changing the real DOM, and I mean it's only changing the props, not that message. Okay, that's why it's thing like it's not reloading the whole page, it's only loading the prop value that or the state variable. Okay, and when you're adding, okay, and when you try to update anything from here, it's not changing the real DOM, it's not changing the UI that is connected to state variable. That's not changing that UI that is connected to state variable. It's only manipulating the things. It's only manipulating the things, and that is not connected to any variable. Okay, and when you just like that. Okay, hope you understand how things work. Like if I cut all the things and send okay, when my text box is empty, it is not empty. When I cut all the things from my variable that is not holding any state, that is going to be manipulated, but the things that is connected to any state or any event handler, that's not going to manipulate it from the inspect. Okay, from the inspect. And when you write anything or update any variable of the state, that's going to re-render into your real DOM, but that's not re-render this message box, that's not re-render this h2 tag. Okay, like I'm writing k, that's re-render all this message, but it's not re-render my h2 tag like here. For re-rendering this tag, you're required to reload your root initial component. Okay, your all component is not re-rendering every time, only that component is re-rendering that is connected to your state variable. Okay guys, hope you understand this time. Like if you re-render this like this, and now see, everything is re-rendered here, and or called, it's not re-render, it's like it's all going to be re-initialized. The right term will be re-initialized, not the re-render. Just taking a sip of tea, it's amazing guys. Okay, so now moving forward, I have just fulfill all my curiosity. What's that term? Leave it that. So moving forward, yeah. As components memory, as a component's memory, state is not like a regular variable. Okay, it's not a regular variable that disappears after your function return. Okay, state actually lives in a React itself. Okay, as if oneself. Okay, outside of your function, when React call your component, okay, when React call your component, it gives you a snapshot of the state that particular render. Okay, your component return a snapshot of the UI with a fresh set of props and event handlers, and its GSX, all calculated using the state value of the render. Okay, only things that is updating on your screen that is connected to your state. Okay, every time that is connected to your state, that is going to be, whenever it's going to re-render, that's going to be updated, not whole UI. It's only updating your state variables. Okay, like just like above example, as I have written the h2 tag here, and that is not updating whenever my input box is updating and re-render all the things from the real DOM, but it's not re-rendering all the message. Okay, okay, okay. Like if I take one, let me create one const message like head set head, and my use state as my initial head is message, and I'm giving this message to my, let me create one segment here, fragment, or called, it's called segment. Okay, I just created this segment and adding the heading h2 tag. Okay, and I'm giving the message like this, head. Okay, this is my message for now. This is my message. Okay, okay guys, and I'm going to update now I'm going to update this. Let's see what happened. Let's see what happened. Now it's going to be magic. Like it's clear a doubt more effectively. Okay, let's see. Click here. We're going to getting this thing like this message. Okay, this is my message, and this is a rendering from my state variable, not from my DOM, not from my direct input. It is rendering from my state variable. Okay, but bro, it's not updating all the time. It's not updating all the time. Let's see for now. Well, let's see what happening here. Like when am I going to click this like this? Like first of all, let me work with this high and deleting all the h I and exclamation mark, and it's updating from the real DOM. It's not updating my screen. And when I am going to working with this message, it's it's updating from here too. Like it's updating here too. Okay, okay. And when I'm going to enter this, it's updating here, but it's not updating here. And let me do one more thing here, like like whenever on changing, whenever you set the message this, when you are setting this message, can you please set whenever this is setting my message here, I wish you can also set my set to my this message too. Like this, like set head, like set head to my head. Just like that, set head to my head. Actually this head is not calling like this. To my head. Now this is my this head. I think this is called just like that. Let me see. Let me see. When I'm going to re-render this, oh, that's giving me error. But the objects are not valid in ReactJs, like head. Okay, this, I think this work like this. Okay, like when we're saying like hi, everything's okay. It's also updating here, and for this message, if I'm changing this message to like this, now it's, oh, still it's not working. Okay, I think there is a thing like it's not updating my message from here. But I think let me add something more. Head plus message 2. Okay, I think now it's working. Yeah. Okay, now it's working. Now it's working. Hope you understand things now. Now the thing is updating. Like it's changing the things that is going to be changed. If both the thing is same, and if I'm trying to update the same thing, it's not going to update. It's not going to update. Okay, like if I'm going to work like this, like if I changing like this 2, it's 2, like it's, if I'm changing here, it's not updating because both the heads are same, both the head are same. If I say like update with the text like dot, it's text like dot, and if I'm updating this, all the things coming back, all the things are coming back. Hope you understand now. Like what's the magic, how state is changing. Like state तभी change होता है जब मेरा वहां पे कुछ change हो रहा है. If there is a no change, the state is not going to change. Okay, it's not going to change. Okay, UI तभी बदलेगा जब मेरा वहां पे कुछ बदलेगा. अगर वहां पे कोई UI change नहीं हो रहा है, that's not going to change. Okay, hope you understand. Like now if I send like one message 1, and I have just sending like here, now it's changing to MSG1, and when I click like dot, it's again become the same thing. It's just adding the dot whenever I'm writing things. When I click like this, always adding the dot whenever I'm writing this. If I change like this, okay, okay, so I don't want to misbehave with this and update this. Okay. Nothing is same as it. Oh no, sorry. Open that. Hey, where are you? It's not opening, man. Just take time, bro. Take time. Roblox, I don't want to play this game. Okay. Now it's version 19. Latest version of ReactJs. Actually, we are learning things from version 19. Oh god. So moving forward with snapshot. Actually, I'm not going to miss. Oh god, thanks for update. Okay. As a component's memory state is not just like a regular variable that disappear after your function state. State actually lives in React itself as if on this self. Outside of your function, when React call your component, it gives you a snapshot of the state for the particular render. Your component return a snapshot of the UI with a fresh set of props and the event handler, and its GSX all calculated using the state variable from the render from that render. Okay, like when you click on the screen, like set is sent true, the React knows like something is going to trigger. It's the is sent is false, it's going to updating to true. You tell your React to update the state, React update the state value, and form is true and the value is sent here. Okay, actually React is responsible to updating all the thing on the basis of uh, the UI is what UI really want. It's not on the basis of what real DOM is that. It's on the basis of state. Okay? Actually, this helping from unusual things that going to on the website, like changing the value of amount and sending back it's taking as a real value, like that type of thing is managed. And this is also managing the privacy, like when a user is sending any kind of link through the input value, and that's not taking that's a not a part of that, but it's help in privacy too, like it's taking only value that is valid. And React pass a snapshot of state variable to the component value into the component. Okay, it's taking a snapshot. This is a snapshot, like the form is true, like this the hand of the snapshot, taking the snapshot and taking your form and sending the message, like taking your form and sending the message when you click on this message box. Okay, so here's a little experiment to show you how this works. In this example, you might expect that click plus 3 button would increment the counter 3 times because set number is 1 plus 1 3 times, and when you apply on 3. Okay, let's see. Like in this example, I have used this thing. My main component is the counter component, and inside my counter component I have one state variable, they like name, number, and the set number, and the initial value of my number is 0. Okay, and inside this I have a h1 value of number, whatever the value inside this, it's showing me on the h1 like this. Okay, and I have one button, that is calling the set number 3 times. Okay, that's calling the number 3 times. And when you click on the plus 3 button, okay, plus 3 button, this is my button, when you click the button here, it's calling the set number 3 times. It's mean that as you click on the button, it's first call, it's update the number by 1, and it's update the number by 1, it's become 1. In the second call, it's update the number by 2. Its third call, it's updating number by 3. Like every call it's updating the number by 1, but the thing is like it's updating all the number by calling one function for 3 times, let's see what happened. Does it increment 1 2 3 like this, or just like 3, or happen only one time? Let's see. When you click like this, what happened? It's showing me only one. Like at the one time, it's call the function only once. It's not calling the function like this one. Okay. When you click 2, it's become 2. 3, it's become 3. When you click 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Okay. It's mean that what is happening here. Like if you change the variable, like put this value 2, put this value 3. Okay, and first of all let me reset this state. to resetting your state, you're required to re-render rendering from the initial, like putting the value to 1, 2, and putting this value to 3. Let's see which function calls first one or last one. It's taking a function as a stack or queue. Let's see that. When you click here, it's 3. It's mean that it's calling the last function at the first. It's calling the last function as a first. Like it's this example also in the C programming, when you are giving to update all the 3 values from the single value, only the last variable is going to be updated, not the first and the second. To working with that, you are required to setting it like this. Like me. If you're setting all the values inside this set, inside this, let's check now. For this time, let's check, does it will call this second one or first one, or 1 or 2 only. Like when you click this, now it's become sync. It's always calling the last one. And when you are inside this curly braces, does it calling the first one or only the last one? Let's see, it's become 7 or it's become 8. It's become 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 6 plus 3 equals to 9. Okay, it's only calling the last one. Okay, it's not calling the first and the second one. If you removing this last 1, 2, and it's become 20, 24, 25, 27, 28. Okay, and when you're calling like this, like 2, like it's become 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. Okay, so now we understand how thing is working here. To updating your number, it's like, okay, now we understand the thing. It's not updating all the number at the one go. It's not calling all the function. It's only calling the last function that's made together. Okay. Let me check one more thing. I'm going to create one more state variable, like one for num and one for number. My num variable is also calling here, and I don't want to this. And I'm creating one more h2 that's taking num. Both the thing is 0. Okay, both the thing is 0. Okay, like this one is my 1. This is my number, and this is my num. Okay, I want to update both the value by 1. Let's see which one is updating, like number or num. My first one is my first R1. I think this is my first okay, this is my first heading for 1, like this state is coming from here. And this one h1, next to h1 is my num, that is the second state. And I'm calling both the state. I want to update both the state from one click. Let's see, does it updating both the state or only single state? That's a point. And it's updating both the state where the number is same. How? Oh, sorry. It's like, I'm sorry. I want to update this number. So for now, both the number is 4. And I want to update both the number with 1. Does it work for both or not? Yes, it's working. But actually, bro, I want to take a snap, copy this, and reset my state variable. Okay, now I have just reset my state variable and updating with this. So now thing is proper. Okay, now thing is proper. Like I have num. I want to update this state and this state from the single button handler, from the single on click handler. I want to update both the state. Let's see, does my both the state is updating simultaneously or does only updating the last one? When I'm clicking this, both the thing is updating. Like it's become 2, it's become 1, it's become 3, it's become 2, 4, 3, 5, 4, 6, 5, 7, 6, 8, 7. All right, so thing is working same. But if I repeat this after one more, let's see, does this is going to update the number at the second time too, or updating the number by it? Does it become 9 and 10? Does it become 10 or does it become let's see, let me update by 2. Like I want to update the number by 1, but the scenario is like I am expecting like this, that the 7 will become 8 and my number 8 become plus 1 by 9 and plus 2 by 11. Okay, I'm expecting like this 8 become 11. Does what happen if it's become 9? It's mean that only number, this function, the set number is called here, and it is become 10. It's mean that it's become only called by this one. If it's become 11, it's mean that both this set number is called, set number is called. Okay, let's see what happened after this click. Now it's become 10. It's mean that only the last one is called, not the first one. Okay, only the last one is called, not the first one. Only the last one is called, not the first one. So one more thing I want to do one more thing. Like now what happened, I want to update this. Hey, wait. Does my num is updating or not? Let's check for num. Does it updating? Yes, it's updating. So it's good. Now what happened? Let's see. I'm calling the set number twice. With the same thing, but I want to see which is updating. Like first call or the second call. Like when I'm clicking here, I'm expecting to like it become 14. If only this will call, it's become 13. Only one first will be the call. It's become 14, 15, 16. It's become 15. If it become 15, it's if both the things called. Okay, let's see. It's become 14. It's mean that only this is called here. Only this one is called. Okay. Only the last function that relates to that, only that is calling, not all. Okay guys, not all is calling, only that one. For this case, for this one, let me tell me which one is going to updating. For this one, I think this 14 become 16 and this 10 become 11. Let me give one more thing like this, 2. Okay, let's see what happened. If 10 become 12, it means that this is called. If 14 become anything like that. What I'm expecting after my study, this study, I think this 14 become 16 and this 10 become 11. Let's check this 16 and 11. Only the last variable that's calling, that's setting the state, only that is calling, not the first one. So that's clear. It's all about the useless. It's not about the number of times, not about the stack. It's about the rendering from only the last one. Okay, hope you understand how thing is going to happen. Like it's become 10, it's become 20 and 13. That's it. So moving forward, notice that a number are only increment once per click. Yes, we know. Setting state, only change it for the next render. Setting state, only change it for the next render. During the first render, number was 0, this is why in that render on click render the value of number is still 0 even the set number was called. Okay, like this type the things. Okay, let's see the scenario from the scratch. Here is what the button click render is 2. Like first time the set number plus 1, number 0 is, so the number 0 plus 1, React prepare to change number to 1 on the next render, and the set number plus 2, number is 0, so number plus 1, React prepare to change the number from the next set render. Okay. Actually, both. Actually, do you know what happened? React is changed this number too, but the number is also changing that now. Like, why don't that is updating here? 22 and 14 is become 14 and 16. 14 and 15. Oh, yeah, that's what's updating by 1. Okay. 18 and 17, 30 and now it's become 30 and 70. So wait for a minute. So it's rendering only from the state, not all the things. Setting state only change it from the next render. During the first render, number was 0. This is why that's render on the click. So what happened here? Set number plus 1, number is 0, so next set number 0 plus 1. React prepare to change number to 1 on the next render. Even though you called set number plus 1, even though you called the set number plus 1 number 3 times in the this render events handler, number is always 0. So you set the state 1 3 times. You set the state 1 3 times. This is why after your event handler finish, React re-render the component with a number equal to 1 rather than 3. Okay, this is a rendering. This is updating the number 3 times at the same. It's not updating the number, it's only updating the number by number plus 1, 3, number plus 1, 3, number plus 1, 3. Okay, it's not updating that. It's like it will update when the thing is going to be happen. It's going to re-render on the screen. But when it's re-render, it's like 1 and updating the number to 1. It's not happening inside in the front. It's only in the back end. So even though, okay, you can also visualize this by mentally substituting a state variable, that value of your code, since that number is render from 0 to 1, all the thing is same. For the next render, number is 1 and the rendering is same thing, and render for all these things is happening, and so on. State over time. Well, that was fun. Try to guess what click on the next alert. Okay, like when you click here, what will happen? What's going to be alert? The message. Like my initial value is 0. Okay, my initial value is 0. So when I'm going to click here, click on my button 5, it will show my number to 5, but in my alert message, it's showing me 0. Why? Because it's not updating that number. It's just updating on the screen. This like number is 0. Okay, when I click OK, now it's become 5. It's updating the screen every task is done. When every task is done. Okay, when I'm going to show like this, first show me number, then update. Let's see what happened. Like now it's showing me 5. When I click OK, now it's become 10. Okay. Now if I'm taking out the alert message here. Okay, like this. Okay, that's giving me error. Why? Okay, okay. When you click this, it's 15. It's calling me 15, but it's not rendering here. When you okay, now it's become 15. It's rendered 2 times for the virtual DOM and then for real DOM. For that reason, I don't want to miss happen with this. Alert number, yes, alert 15. Now it's become 20. Alert 20. Now it's become 25. Okay, and when I'm calling to here, now it's become 25. Number is 25 and update the number to 30. Now it's 30. Now it's 35. Okay, so thing is like that. If you use the substitution method from before, you guess that alert shows 0. Okay, then alerting. But what if you put timer on the alert? Timer on the alert, so it only 5 after the re-render. Would this show 5 or 0? Like take the timer on the set timer, like after 3 seconds it's going to show me update. Like let's see what it's going to alert me. Like when you click on the 5, it's become 5, then alert message came, then the number is getting to number is 5, like this. Like it's updating after the update, like after 3 seconds it's still showing me 5. Why? Like the number is updating here, like it's become 10, everything is okay. After 5 seconds it's fires, it's showing me 5. It's not checking the number from the state, or it's taking number from the DOM. Actually what happening here? What if I was tell here like let num equals to number. Okay, num equals to number, and alerting my num. Let's check what will happen, what it's going to show me right now. If I click on the num like 5, it's become 5. Now it's showing me 0, still showing me 0. 10, after 3 seconds it's showing me 5. Okay, it's like number is updating here, not updating the state. State is updating later, but why and how, thing is not clear that much. Like it's taking me confusing, like why it's not updating like both the DOM and both the number. Like it's updating the number, it's become 15 and it's showing me okay the error. Like what's the error? Number is not 5. In 12th line, alert number, okay, 20. Now it's become it's going to show me 15. Okay, so hope we understand thing is happening. Like everything is surprised. If you substitution, if you use the substitution method, you can see snapshot of the state, pass that to the alert. like state set number 0 plus 1, set timeout alert 0. After the 3 second, the swing is 0 only. The state stored in React may have changed by time the alert runs, but it was scheduled using the snapshot of the state at the time the user interacts with it. Okay, what does that mean? The state stored in React, okay, state is stored in the React changed, may have changed by the time the alert runs. Okay, but it was scheduled using a snapshot. Okay, it was scheduled using. Okay. For the first sake of knowledge, the alert message get their information like it's going to send the number like 0. It's going to show in the alert message of 0. Okay, when the time is when the time is over, it show the alert message as 0. It's not updating on the real time. It's not updating the number of alert on the real time. It's just updating the number on the whenever the number is showing to that. But it's not showing on the screen because that timer is there. It's not updating on the basis of that. Okay. This state variable value never change within the render. Okay, state variable value is never changed within the render. Okay, even if event handlers code is asynchronous, even the event handling code is asynchronous, inside that render on click the value of number counting to be 0 even after set number plus 1 was called. Its value was fixed when React took the snapshot of the UI calling to your component. So then when the number value is updating, here is an example of how that make your event handler less prone to timing mistake. Below is a form that send message with 5-second delay. Imagine that this scenario. You press the send button sending hello to Alice. Okay, sending message Alice. Okay, before the 5-second delay end, you change the value to fill to Bob. Okay, what do you expect the alert to display? Would it display your hello Alice or would it be display your hello Bob? Make a guess based on yours and try. Okay, let's see. Like this is my state called here. This is my form is my main component. I have created two state variable like to and send to, and the message is the set message. And the send to is my Alice, and the set message is to my hello. Okay. Function dot handle. Okay, let me come back here. Like inside here, I have label of 2. Okay, and the space. And the select option is there. Inside my select option, the value is going to be 2. The value is going to 2. On the on change, set to, like this set to become change to this target value. Like whenever I click the name here, like Bob or Alice. Okay, it's going to changing on the basis of select value, target value. Okay. Okay, and I have text message like the value of the message is handling by this state variable, and whenever you update the value of the message, it's also updating the message here from here. Okay, set message is going to changing here like set message like event dot target dot value. What is the value inside this message box? It's going to updating the set message here. Okay, this is point clear. And whenever you click on the button, it's sending the submit button. Whenever the submit button is called, the handle submit is going to be handle function is going to be called. And inside this handler function, event dot prevent here, like it's going to prevent the form event. Like it's alerting the message, you send message to this message is going to be alerting after the 5 seconds. It's going to message this alerting message after the 5 seconds. The message is sent. After the message is sent, it's going to calculating the message is sent to whom. Like I'm sending the message to hello, sending message to Alice like hello. Like I've sent this message and I'm waiting for 5 seconds, and the alert message is showing like you send a hello message to Alice. Okay, now I'm going to change the name of the Alice. Okay, like actually whatever the name I'm going to selecting from here, like select the name. Actually what happened when you send this message, this package of form is going to be sent directly. Okay, it's updating all the things. As you update the message here, I think that's not going to updating in the real alert. But the thing is like this alert message is waiting. This alert message is waiting for the on click. Does it waiting for on submit click or just updating as this called? Well, like what happened there at in this example, when you call this alert message, that's taking the number directly from the number and just waiting for their chance. When these chances came, this showing the same number as it's shown before. It's not updated number. Okay, just check here, like that's showing me that value like message like hello or like same thing. Let me change the hello to hello all. Okay, okay, like this message. I'm just updated this message and I think this alert is changed. Does this alert changing anything else? Like I've sent this message and changing to Bob and send message again 2 times. I'm changing the, like I change hello to Alice. Okay, when I'm okay, like it's showing like you send hello to Bob. Like okay, like if I click like send, then I'm sending Alice send, then like I'm sending 2 messages. Like first messages came from Bob, like you send hello to Bob, then I'm clicking okay. After that in the background I have sending the second message, you send hello to Alice. Like I have the overlap, both the time it's showing me like now it's become, now it's handling become a real time. At the time that is not showing me the real time DOM. Like if I send the message to hello and sending the same message to hello Alice and just changing the name, like you send hello to Alice and you send hello to Alice, like both the thing is same, but thing is like it's alert message is updating on the real time. Okay, send. Okay, okay, like it's send, wait for 2 seconds, then send. But the number is same here, wait for one, and it's again number is coming with the same name. So guys, this time this hello alert is changing on the time. Okay, it's updating on the time. Actually what's happening here, even I don't know here. React keep the state variable fixed within the one render event handler. You oh event handler. You don't need to worry whether the state has changed while the code is running. But what if you want to read the latest state before a re-render? You will want to see state updater function cover the next page. Okay, inside this page we will understand more detail about how things how state is updating inside the DOM actually in the real hood. Like we understand more of the basic of the things, like how alert is taking the message from the real, Let me change the hello to dash dash and one more dash, three dash, and I'm changing the hi, then send, and when I'm seeing here, what the message will send to me. Like it's saying hello. Okay, thing is same like what I really want to see. So now it's time to taking the challenge, completing the challenge, and before challenge, let's recap all the lecture what we learned today. First, setting the state request to the new render. Okay, whenever the request is changing, it is creating the new rendering, all the updating all the state kind of variables. Okay, React store state outside of your component as if oneself. Okay, React is storing the state outside your component. Okay, when you call use state, React give you snapshot of the state from the render. Okay, variables and event handlers don't survive. If variables and event handlers don't survive re-render. Every render has its own event handlers. Okay, every render has its own event handlers. Event ha- every render and the function inside it, it will it will always see the snapshot of the state and the react give to that render. Okay, you can mentally subtitle state in event handlers similarly to how you think about the rendered JSX. Event handlers create in the past have the state variables of the render in which was created. I will discuss all these things tomorrow lecture. Before that, I want to cover uh, this challenge of the day. Today we have only one challenge. Let's see. The challenge is implement the traffic light. Implement the traffic light. Like here is the crosswalk light component that trigger when the button is pressed. Okay, when you are changing walk, like stop, green, and like let's see this. I have import this to use state, then exporting the default variable function. I mean default function of the traffic light, and this traffic light is my main component here, and I'm creating this state variable here like walk and the set walk that is updating the true or false. That's taking the value of the boolean, and inside this inside here I have a one button, and I have a heading, and want to walk and ternary operator like if walk then stop. Okay, like change the walk to stop and stop to walk whenever the value is changing on the basis of true and false. Like in the heading color is walk. Okay, color is what will the color? It's the dark green or the dark. It's depend on the walk. Okay, walk. What will the walk? When you click on the change of the walk, like handle click, inside this handle click, it's changing the walk to true to false and false to true. It's taking the true to false to true. Let's see, and it's changing the walk to stop and walk. Okay, like if walk then stop, then change to stop, and it's become change to walk. Like when you click here, it's become stop. Like change to walk to stop, change to stop, change to stop, it's become walk, then stop become red color. That thing is working same. Like what is my challenge? Implement the traffic light. Here is a cross walk light component that trigger when the button is pressed. Change to stop. It come stop. Change to walk. Add a alert to click handler. Add an alert to click handler when the light is green, say walk. Walk. Clicking the button should say stop is next. When okay, add alert. I want to add the alert message here, like alert to click handler. Alert on the click handler. When the light is green, say walk. Okay, when the light is green, say walk. Clicking the button should say stop is next. Stop is next. When the light is red, say stop, and clicking on the button say walk is next. Okay, and does it make difference whether you put alert before set? Okay, and I want to walk, and I want to set alert like alert message like message will be like walk is next, stop is next, like let message will be, what message will be, my message will be like state will be lock. I mean, like this. It's like oh, not like this. I'm going to say like here, like alert message with this, like walk will be stop and stop will be walk. Still giving error. Why don't I make this variable outside? Let message. Message plus message plus is next. Like error will be with me. Message. Message. Okay, now thing is walk. Like change to stop to walk. Walk is next. Show me like stop is next. Walk is next. Like it show like alternative. Take stop. Stop. It's take walk. When the thing is walk is true, then show stop. When the walk is false, then speaking like false. walk is next. When I click, it's like stop is next. It's same. Okay, thing is working same. But I want to give this space here. To giving this space, I want to use like this. Okay, walk is next. Stop is next. Okay. Let's see the solution here. In the solution, I have like one alert message like this, setting the walk to next value and calling the value like stop is next, the walk is next, stop is next, and the walk is next. Only when the walk is true, it's making me stop, and the like this same like things. Whether you like working this like this, like thing is same. Like whether you work like this or with that. Stop is next, walk is next. Okay, when you change the value, it says walk is next. When you change the value, it says stop is next. Okay, and the same thing is happening here. When you click here, it says stop is next. Stop become like when used to become walk is next. So all guys, everything is working same. Let's rate this whether you put it's before the set walk will call no difference. The render of the value and the same thing, and the walk is next. We use this logic. We will use the same logic in our code, but it's makes sense. Like if you read it, so if the traffic light show walk is known and so next, all the things like same. So click on the stop, change queue, and walk pause and all this. So hope you understand all the things we did today, and I think that's that for today. I will get back to you tomorrow with a new topic with queues as a series of the update. And so you guys, thank you, and hope you will join that Discord server for new updates.